Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're doing something a little different. We're going to peel back the layers of cinema to find a completely new way of watching and really understanding the movies we love.
Okay, so to do this, let's dive right in with our main example today, a fantastic short film called Don't Be Long, Little Bird. And the premise? Oh, it's absolutely captivating. You've got a modern teen, Rima, who dives into a pond and literally resurfaces in the past, in 1936 Palestine. It's like the film is telling us from the very first minute that cinema is a kind of time machine.
But, that's just the surface level. What's the story really about? Is it about heritage, identity, or maybe the magic of film itself? That's the big question we're chasing today. And to answer it, we're going to look at the film through a series of special lenses from the world of film theory. You can think of it as a toolkit for seeing deeper into any movie you watch from now on.
So, let's start with our very first lens. This one is all about the director's signature. It asks this really fundamental question: who is the true author of a film? And the answer might lie in this powerful idea called auteur theory.
Auteur theory, it actually came out of France back in the 1950s, basically argues that the best films carry the unmistakable stamp of their director. We're talking about their personality, their obsessions, their unique way of seeing the world. The film, in a way, becomes a direct channel right into its creator's mind.
So, let's apply this to our short film. The director, Reem Jabran, well, this film was born from an incredibly personal place for her. This wasn't just some story she made up, it was a vessel for her own voice, a way for her to work through grief and reconnect with her family's heritage.
And here's where it gets really personal. The main character, Rima, is actually named after the director's own great-grandmother. Wow. Once you know that, it just adds this whole other autobiographical layer, right? The story suddenly feels like a chapter from the filmmaker's own family history.
Okay, let's grab our next lens and peel back another layer. This time, we're looking at the language of film itself, and this gets to the heart of a huge, classic debate in film theory. So you can basically think of this as two main camps. On one side, you've got the formalists. They see film as a puzzle, where all the meaning comes from the artistic choices, the editing, the camera tricks, the sound design. Then on the other side, you've got the realists. For them, film is more like a window on the world, and its greatest power is capturing reality as truly as possible. Now, if you look at Don't Be Long, Little Bird, it is just packed with these formalist tricks. You've got the magical time-traveling portal, these surreal montages, the dreamlike underwater shots. All of these things are constantly reminding us that, hey, we're watching a story that has been beautifully and deliberately constructed just like a puzzle.
But at the very same time, the film is completely grounded in authentic, realist detail. It was shot on location, the costumes are historically perfect, the landscapes are real, not CGI. This whole approach makes the past feel so incredibly real, like we are literally looking through a window into a world that's long gone.
And here's the crucial point. The film doesn't pick a side. It brilliantly fuses both. And that fusion is exactly what makes the story so powerful. It uses this fantastical, formulist puzzle of time travel to let us into a past that feels totally authentic and real. The magic makes the history tangible.
All right, for our next lens, we're going to become narrative detectives. This one is all about looking for the hidden patterns and secret codes, the DNA really, that stories from all over the world seem to share.
So do they? Well, according to a field called structuralist theory, the answer is a big yes. The idea is that so many stories, no matter how unique they seem on the surface, are actually built on these familiar frameworks and mythic patterns, a kind of shared narrative DNA.
And you guessed it, our film taps right into this. It's actually inspired by a Palestinian folktale, and our main character, Rima, fits perfectly into that classic archetype of the lost wanderer who has to go on this journey to find herself. Suddenly, her story is connected to myths from all across the globe.
Now, one way structuralists look at stories is by finding what they call binary oppositions, these simple pairs of contrasting ideas that create all the tension. And for our film, you can see them so clearly. Present versus past, modern versus traditional, exile versus home, and even mother versus daughter. When you map them out like this, you can literally see the underlying framework that gives the story its conflict and all of its power.
Okay, for our final layer, we're going to put on a psychoanalytic lens. And this approach is fascinating because it suggests we can analyze a film in the exact same way we might analyze a dream, looking for all the hidden desires and symbolic meanings.
So this theory says that the whole experience of going to the movies, sitting in a dark room, just watching these images unfold, it actually mimics a dreamlike state. It taps into this fundamental human drive that psychoanalysts call scopophilia, which is really just the deep, natural pleasure we get simply from looking.
And from this perspective, a movie story isn't just a story, it's a form of wish fulfillment. The narrative can play out our unconscious desires right there on the screen, letting us sort of resolve our own inner conflicts, all from the safety of our chair.
So, if we look at Don't Be Long, Little Bird as if it's a dream, what hidden wish might it be granting? What deep desire is being fulfilled for the main character, and maybe, by extension, for all of us watching?
Well, remember, Rima's journey starts right after a fight with her mother, and she's feeling totally disconnected from her heritage. So her plunge into the past can be seen as this deep psychological need to heal those wounds, to finally connect with her roots, and to find a sense of wholeness again.
And when you're using this lens, even specific images can become powerful symbols. Take the water in that swimming hole. It's not just a plot device to get her to the past, it could be a symbol of the unconscious mind itself, or maybe even of a trauma that she needs to work through.
So, as you can see, a film isn't just one thing. It's this incredibly rich, multi-layered experience. And each of these lenses we've talked about, the director's signature, the cinematic language, the story's secret codes, and the unconscious dream, each one gives us a brand new way to appreciate the art.
And now you have the toolkit. So the next time you're sitting there and the lights go down, you're not just going to see a movie. You'll be able to see the art, the code, and the dream. The only question is, which lens will you use first?